Darlings, welcome to episode 57. As always, Sunny Bonani Dumalang for afternoon. Bon dia. So yes, episode 57. Wow, I've been doing this for 57 days now. Can you believe it? And since I started, today is probably the freshest and the chilliest day of it all so far. So I've had to put a little pashmina here on, just to make me feel a little bit more warm. But yes, so I guess today's episode is a bit of a follow-on from yesterday. So yesterday's episode was titled Three-Part Breathing. So within that episode, I gave an explanation, and I also did, I guess, a little exercise where we practice or understand the aspects and elements of three-part breathing. And it's a breathing technique that essentially helps you gain or foster greater awareness with your breath, so that when you're out there doing your everyday thing, you are able to detect where you're breathing and alter it if need be. So today's episode is a bit of a continuation from that. So I generally tend to review or view my videos before I actually post them, and I post them regardless. I have not posted an episode, even if it's cringe, even if it's debaucherous, even if it's vulgar, even if it just makes me feel all kinds of nauseous, or even if it's bloody fab. I like to post it. So the reason for that is to capture the authenticity that is life, because as much as we would love to believe that every day is sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns, those days don't come around every single day. So, yes, I feel it's important for us to capture the essence in the days where things are challenging, when things don't look 100%, when things do look uncomfortable, when I'm feeling meh, when I'm feeling out of my depth, when I am doing, little things like this, or using the word or like whatever, everything that comes up. As long as I endeavor to do the recording as authentically as I feel I'm doing it on that particular day, at that particular point in time when I have the moment to do these daily vlogs, that's what I try and represent and bring to the party. And I think that's important because in a day and age where we are conditioned to believe that things are a certain way, but they're actually not. I mean, just think of the unraveling of people whom were portrayed to be in one light, and in fact, they are very much in another. In fact, they're not in their light, they're deep in their shadow. Yes, I guess I like to show up light, shadow, rainbows, with it all, So yesterday, when I was viewing or watching the episode that I recorded about three-part breath or three-part breathing, it was quite interesting because I found myself observing myself. Hence the reason for these daily vlogs. And it was so fascinating because as I was talking, I could see that the left side wasn't asymmetrical to the right side. And sometimes even when I speak, my lip at the bottom is uneven. So all those aspects and elements, believe it or not, is trauma located and situated in the body. So many times the mind doesn't remember stuff, especially when it's really traumatic or it's quite traumatic. The mind actually wants to dismiss it or file it in a cabinet right at the back because it doesn't want to have that repeating in its mind. It's almost like a safety mechanism or a safety procedure that's been installed. And it still needs to go somewhere, and that's usually when it represents itself or comes out physically in the body in some shape, way, or form. So yesterday was really interesting when I was just observing myself in the video. I observe myself all the time. Yesterday was just an extra. I was just observing myself a little bit more, I guess. And it made me think about the aspects and elements of mirror work. But I don't want to touch or go into mirror work in too much depth. I guess what this episode in the here now today is here to invite you to do and here to invoke you to do is for you to check out yesterday's episode if you missed it. It's not the world's best 3-part breathing explanation, but it's mine and it's the one that I gave yesterday. But I would invite you to do your 3-part breathing exercises or exercise, but I'd like you to up it. I would like you to record yourself. You don't have to show anyone, you don't have to post it, you don't have to do anything besides review it once you're done. And why am I suggesting this? So when you record yourself, like I'm doing right now, you're capturing the essence of this very here now moment. So it's in the now. But you're going to be viewing it and looking at it through the lens of having done it in the past, in the now. And it will immediately start to formulate ideas and things that you might want to alter, change, or amend in the future. So it's a really interesting exercise to do. And if you're someone who's all about self-growth, self-exploration, self-investigation, then it's an exercise that I would highly recommend that you do. So yeah, just do your 3-part breathing and just record yourself and watch yourself breathing as you're working through each level of the breath. It is quite a fascinating thing to do. And then, yes, I think I will speak about the power of mirror work in another day, but perhaps I'm just planting the seed in the here now moment just to tantalize the taste buds and stimulate a little bit of thought, you know. So yes, magical people. Let's see if there's anything else that wants to come up. I'm feeling a little meh today. And it's okay, nothing too major. But yeah, I just keep reflecting on the events that are occurring throughout this world, and I really don't try get sucked in by, and I most certainly don't get sucked in by the news. Vomit. Because that's just a full-on propaganda machine, in my personal opinion. But it also means you can't put your head in the sand and pretend that there's nothing going on either, you know. And we are all interconnected as much as we would not want to be, or as much as we think we are sovereign and individual beings, which we are. But there's also an aspect, an element to us that reminds us that we, at the end of the day, are still all human at this particular juncture and point in our lives. And ultimately, that is something that unites us. And it just, I guess, saddens me a little bit to see that I don't know how to explain it. It's like we don't need to agree on things. Please don't get me wrong. I think it's healthy that we don't see things in the same way because it offers different perspectives, it offers different points of view, different solutions, different avenues and ways of thinking and being in this world. So I really don't subscribe to us needing to have a hive mind mentality and thinking. And God forbid if we step outside of that sphere. I guess that's what I have an issue with, when we don't see things the same way. Wars get raged, wars get started, rage ensues, trying to prove your rightness is imperative and important. And it always comes from the space of like aggression, because of probably emotional suppression. Pardon the little rhyme there. But yes, when we aren't taught, because I believe that's where it stems, when we aren't taught to sit with our emotions in a healthy and safe and sacred space and place, that's when this volatility tends to ensue. And I guess that's why I'm really passionate about doing this kind of work. I'm really passionate about assisting and fostering the magic of you being in this beautiful physical vessel that you've been blessed and bestowed with. Be that through physical work, mental, spiritual, it's all at the end of the day interlinked and connected. So yes, I trust that you will do that 3-part breathing in front of a camera, record yourself, and then just observe and view yourself. And please, I invite you to do this through the lens of curiosity, inquiry, and observation, and always with the willingness to get to know yourself better, not from a space of critique and judgment and persecution and belittlement. Guys, wow, there's so much of that out there in the world. You really don't need to be doing it to yourself. I mean, it's really not necessary, you know? And if you find yourself in spaces and places where you feel that kind of energy or that kind of experience, then remove yourself from it. Just extract, you know? And if you feel ready to go back in there and want to give it another go, look at it from a different perspective or angle, or then yeah, that's a healthy way to approach it. Sometimes no matter what perspective you try things at, that doesn't really matter. The lesson sometimes is to honor the self and to just remove yourself and trust that that is the lesson, you know. But yes, it is 12:48 on the clock, and I feel that I've shared everything that I need to share for today, as a duck literally just hovers over where I'm recording. As always, continue to sow those seeds, allow for the flow and the magic of life to find you so that you may ultimately grow, illuminate, and glow. Until tomorrow's episode, stay magical, stay brilliant, stay wise, and remember, remove all unnecessary disguise. Until tomorrow's episode, keep loving yourself tight.